Welcome back to another episode of NewOrleans.Football presented by PJ's Coffee. If you are not yet signed up to the website, make sure you get that done. Use the code NOF, save 20% on your first payment. Training camp's coming up. We're going to have the practice reports every single day, so you're going to want to make sure you're locked in to get all of that access. We are coming to you from our studio on Veterans Memorial Boulevard, right next to my guy, Matt Bauer's dealership, the Ford dealership. But he has all types of dealerships all throughout the region. Make sure you go check him out for the best car buying experience that you can find. We got a great show for you guys today. We're going to go over our over-unders for the season, predict what we're expecting from just about everybody on the roster, and set those lines where they should be set. So we're going to get to all that and so much more right after this quick break. The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. Time for a new watch? Go check out Friend & Company Fine Jewelers' wide array of Breitling watches at their showroom on Maple Street. They have every type of watch that you want, and they can get you right for any type of occasion. And while you're there, check out their engagement salon. They'll make sure you find the perfect ring for that special someone. Their experienced staff offer 5-star customer care to help you find the perfect watch, ring, or whatever else you're looking to buy. Visit them today. Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, 7713 Maple Street between Adams and Burdett, 504-866-5433, or visit them at friendandcompany.com. Looking for the best insurance coverage at the lowest price? Look no further than Chabert Insurance, the Earhart Agency. They are a local independent insurance agency right here in New Orleans, specializing in home, flood, and auto insurance. Their agents are born and raised in the area and understand our community's unique needs and the homeowners insurance crisis our residents are currently in. At Chabert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, their dedicated team will shop every available carrier in the market, ensuring you get the most comprehensive coverage at the lowest possible price. They know your time is valuable, which is why they work diligently to provide you with the quotes as soon as possible. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Trust Chabert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, to protect what matters most to you. I do. I've been a client of theirs since 2021. When we couldn't find someone to insure our house because of the big oak tree growing over top, Chabert worked until they found someone that would work with us and give us the protection that we need to feel safe in our new home. Call them today at 504-326-6526 or visit them online at Protected by Chabert. That's 504-326-6526. Chabert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, your local insurance experts. Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is an 86 proof blend of aged wheat bourbon, American light whiskey, and fresh Ponchatoula strawberries. Blended in New Orleans, it is not for the thin-skinned. Look for it in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. NewOrleans.Football is proud to be sponsored by Firehouse Subs. Make sure you check out their location on Veterans Boulevard. All right, let's get into the show. All right, I'm Nick Underhill here with Mike Triplett and Brandon Thomas. We're going to break down all these over-unders on the show, and it's now time for the lead presented by Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. Friend & Company Fine Jewelers is the official jewelers of the New Orleans Saints. Make sure you go check them out at their Maple Street showroom. Get yourself a Breitling watch. Check out all of their rings, their engagement salon, all that and much more. So make sure you check them out if you are in the market for a new watch.
Lead topic, over-unders. Who will benefit from Saints' new offense? It's an annual tradition here at NOF, our over-under show, where we go through for the season and we say, let's see where we put them at. So we've set a variety of lines, players, and team props, and where we make our own predictions. So let's start with the offense. Which has the biggest opportunity for change under the new offense coordinator, Clint Kubiak? Derek Carr, 98 passer rating, over-under.
I'll let you go first, Mike.
All right. Nick set this one. It's a savvy one. It was 97.7 last year. He's hit 100 twice in his career. He's gone over this twice ever. But we feel good about Derek Carr in this offense. I feel good about his efficiency. 97.7 last year. I'll take the under, but that's no slight on him. I still think 95, 96, or whatever. That's just a high bar. You set a high bar.
I'm going to go over. I mean, he's always
sure,
been good in West Coast offenses. I think he'll be better than he was last year. I think they're going to build a better offense around him. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to take the over here.
Yeah, passer rating is kind of designed by the more yards and touchdowns you pack into the field. It's like it's yards per attempt, touchdowns per attempt, and fewer turnovers per attempt. Last year the TD to interception ratio was 25-8. I bet both numbers go up a little higher, more like 30-10, but that could get him there.
Next one,
Alvin. What do you got?
Me? I got the over. I think I was rolling with the over. The new offensive system, he has no choice but to get better, so I feel like I'm rolling with the over on that. Alvin Kamara, 4.3 yards per carry.
I'll go first on this one. I'll go over.
Yeah.
It was 3.9. I mean, I think they were just kind of bad at a lot of things. I think it's if I could give it a push, I would probably push on this. But I think I'll go. If I gotta take one, I'm gonna go over. I think he improves this year.
Yeah, this is betting on the offense, like even more than that Derek Carr number. And now Alvin used to be so funny. He's never been anywhere near this number. He was 6.1, 4.6, 4.7, 5.0. He used to obliterate this number. Then the last 3 years, 3.7. 4.0, 3.9. So I do agree with you. I feel like getting him a little on track, getting the run game a little on track gets him right at about this number. But I'm going to go over because I also think they're going to make a more efficient use of him. I think some of those years where his number really went down, he was all they had in a couple of those years, and they were just running him into the line. I don't expect to see a lot of those 0 and 1 yard carries from him this year that bring that number down.
Clean sweep across the board. I'm going over 2. No reason why I'd go against Alvin going into this year. Next one, Taysom Hill, 5.5 total touchdowns.
I mean, based on what we saw throughout the mini camp and the OTAs and everything, it's hard not to see this number there. Now, my question is kind of, he had 6 touchdowns last year. Part of that, he was able to kind of, it's such a negative word, but it's the word I'm going to use. Like, he was able to vulture some of those touchdowns from Alvin. Do they keep spinning it that way? Do they allow Alvin to score some of those touchdowns? I felt like a lot of times it was like Alvin would be, 1st and 6 from the 6, and Alvin would run them down to the 1, and they'd let Taysom punch it in. Is it the same approach? If it's kind of a little bit more equitable, I could see being the under on that.
Jamal Williams is another guy who, in theory, should get a few of those. He got 17 one year.
I'm going to take the under. I think his overall yardage goes up, but I think maybe the touchdowns go down.
This is my easiest over yet because they've just always found a way. Yeah, he had 6 last year. That was his lowest since 2018. He had 9 the year before. Oh, no, I lied about that. 5 the year before, 9 the year before, 7 the year before. So he did have 5 one at a time. But, I mean, because he's so involved in both the run game and the passing game, and how much we saw them using him, I feel like he's going to get. I feel like he's going to get to 6. He's going to be I'm going to put the kiss of death on him since it was Jawan Johnson last year, but he's going to be my fantasy touting all preseason. Make him your steal at tight end in fantasy because I think they're going to use him.
Push is an option.
No. How can you push 5.5 touchdowns? How can you push 5.5 touchdowns? I want to hear the theory behind this. He gets one call back because of penalty?
Yeah, give it over.
Him and Big carry one in
That's
together.
Right. You see the vision? And got to get him as one because, like you say, once you get your one, you're out of there. So get him as one. Let that be the end of the Big package and call it a day. But give me the over on that. I think Taysom, the way they're going to use him in the offense this upcoming season, I don't see why it should be any lower, but 5.5. Now let's go to the undisputed number 1 wide receiver that's on the team, Chris Olave, 1,150 receiving yards.
Mike, I'll let you go.
I'm
man.
over. Yeah, I did not realize Nick also proposed this one, and at first I was like, that's weird that you have him taking a step back. I didn't realize he didn't get there last year. He finished at 11.23 last year. He was 10.42 the year before. Now, he only played 16 games last year and finished at 11.23. He only played 15 games when he finished at 10.42. So, obviously, if he plays 17 games, I feel great about this number. Does he miss a couple games and it gets hard to get there? It's probably not a smart Vegas bet to bet on a guy playing 17 games, but I think this offense is Chris Olave or bust, so I'm gonna take the over here.
I guess the question here is how high does he get? Like
Yeah.
if we were, if you're going, I don't know, does he get over 1,200? Like is he?
I think he should.
He should.
I mean, why shouldn't this offense just feed the crap out of this guy? Who else are they throwing the ball to?
1,250 gets you into the top 10. Like is he going to be in the top? Is he going to be in the top 10?
I think if he played 17 games, I could see 1,250. But I always expect a guy to miss a game or two. But yeah, I think he's got in a per game potential. I think he should be on pace for 1,250 yards. Yes, I think he should be on pace for a top 10 receiver.
I'd take the over on 1,200 yards. I think. I don't know if I'd take the over on 1,250, but I would definitely take the over on 1,200. 1,250. I don't know why it feels like such a bigger number. 1,200, like that feels like a very doable number. So yeah, I mean, I'm easy over on this.
I mean, if you said per game played and divided this by 17, it'd be the easiest over. I mean, the only thing that makes you hesitate is a lot of guys miss time. But so it's you don't want to go to Vegas betting on high numbers, and that's how Vegas wins their money. They don't all hit their numbers.
Yeah, Jamar Chase last year he had 12-16, so I'm taking Chris on the over.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Rashid Shaheed, 750 receiving yards.
I'm not just trying to be bullish on everyone on the offense. I took the under on Derek Carr at least, but I'm over here too. He got to 719 last year in 15 games played, and I'm over just because I think it's going to be such a heavy volume of this passing offense is Olave and Shaheed. I don't know that third receivers and tight ends are going to emerge as go-to guys in this passing offense. So I expect big numbers for both Olave and Shaheed. So I'm over here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the over on it. I think it's a good number. I think 750 is a good number for him. I mean, like I said last year, like I think we set the line at 750 last year, and I was over on it, and I thought it was like going to be bombs. Obviously, he didn't hit it. I think if there's just like a little bit more bombs away, and there should be if they're that play action heavy, there should be some more opportunities for that. I think he could be, a boomer bust guy week to week, but like I think there'll be enough booms for him to overcome this. I am curious how you get all these yards and you don't get a 98 passer rating though.
Well, I just think I think they're going to be packed into these two guys. Like I don't think it's going to be spread around. I'm going to have low numbers on a lot of other guys or whatever. But I think passer rating is also about. I mean, you're damn near 100 passer rating. I mean, like you've pointed out, like our guy in San Diego has Justin Herbert never gotten there or whatever. I mean, it's a hard number to hit. 100 is a big passer rating number.
It's really about just kind of like mitigating.
Yeah.
Interceptions and
he did a interception ratio.
He did a really good
that
well. Yeah, he has, and he did a really good job of it last year. We'll see.
Next, I'm going with the over. I mean, look at the graphic. He has on the chrome heart gloves. That's sure hands. You got to go with that. So I'm going with the over. I'm going with the over.
All right, man.
Why are you seem disappointed?
I mean, it's just Levi's with patches, man.
Wow.
It really is.
A couple weeks ago, when Tank did his thing in the ring, what did he have on?
All right, man.
That's right.
All right.
Next one, A.T. Perry, 400 receiving yards.
I'd like to say the over. I mean, he should be over 400. He needs to be over 400. He must be over 400. Like, it's not an option really for the offense. Like, if he doesn't hit 400, I think they're kind of in trouble a little bit. But I don't know. Like, it just kind of depends. I mean, I'll take the over, but like I don't think it's going to be like wildly over. But I'll take the over on it.
Yeah, this is a pretty conservative number. I'll go ahead and take the under on it just because in theory we might see more 12 personnel from this team, even though they don't currently have enough tight ends to even do that. I think Cedric Wilson, I think Taysom Hill are going to be involved in the passing game. Juwan Johnson if he's healthy, Foster Moreau more if he's healthy. I just don't know that. Like I said, I'm expecting big numbers for Olave and Shaheed. I don't know that third and fourth and fifth receivers are gonna. I'm not gonna bet on high numbers from those guys. I don't think this is gonna be a spread it around to everyone offense. So I'm betting more on Olave and Shaheed's numbers.
I mean, it's an interesting point because like we also don't know how they're gonna use their personnel. Like it used to kind of be a lot of people got a lot of different snaps. Like do we just kind of see a straight up like this is the number 3 receiver and he kind of gets
and I
all
don't
the
think
snaps.
he's going to be 3 because I think I think since none of these guys can block, I think Cedric Wilson's going to get way more snaps than him.
I think he has to be 3, or I think they
3. I think he'll be 3 in receptions and receiving yards, but not in snaps played.
Yeah,
You know
I mean, I think that's probably fair. I just don't know. I don't know how they're going to use him. You know, like so many people used to cycle him. I don't even like. We're going to do a 53-man roster. Like I don't even know how to put that together yet because I don't know like what they're looking at. You know what I mean? Like it used to be kind of these are the numbers every time. Like do they have the same needs? Like are they going to rotate? Like 6 receivers wasn't outrageous before. Like is it now? Like is it just going to kind of be set a certain type of way? I mean, there's only so many different ways you can make up a roster, but yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see how they kind of operate. You know, it's actually possible their 12 might go down. They were 7th in the league in 12 personnel snaps last year. That number might dip, especially if you factor in the Jawan thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I just there's just a lot of unknown factors here.
One thing that's interesting when we're predicting these receiving yards is Olave had 1123 last year. We based our number off that. Shaheed had 719. We based our number off that. Kamara should be similar to what he was. Jawan might be similar to what he was. He only had 368. Taysom might be similar to what he was. He had 291. There are 448 Michael Thomas yards to be spread around to someone else too. So that is 450 more yards, even if they just have the exact same season as
over
last year.
Over a condensed period too.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Callaway. Like Callaway had 698 one year. Brandon Coleman was like about a 400-yard guy. Like he should be a 400-yard.
Yeah. I'm a little higher on. I think Cedric Wilson and or someone like Equanimous St. Brown. I'm worried about A.T. Perry's path to playing time.
So am I.
Because I don't think they need another guy who's receiver first when you've got Olave and Shaheed as your first 2 guys. I mean, unless he becomes a standout blocker, I don't know that he's going to be a lot more than that 4th receiver who gets in every once in a while.
I agree. My thing with him is like if he doesn't match the theory, I think the offense is in trouble.
Okay.
Like if he's not blocking Equanimous St. Brown and Cedric Wilson, I think the offense is legitimately in a little bit of trouble. Like he has to kind of be it. If he's not, like right now, like I like St. Brown better than the whole rest of the pack.
Yeah.
Like
I'm kind of high on Cedric Wilson. I like what I've seen from him. I feel like we're gonna see Cedric Wilson on 3rd downs. I feel like he's been in on a lot of those in their live situations.
He has
a lot of camp to go though.
Big body, veteran presence. It's hard to argue, but I'll have to go with the over. I think in terms of needing a contested catch receiver, AT probably can step up and do that. Hopefully he steps up and do that. Like you said, he needs to step up and do that to see playing time. So I'll go with the over.
He's quietly one of the biggest questions on the team right now. Like there's a lot of focus on the D-line, Trevor Penning, you know, he's quietly, I think, one of the biggest issues on the team right now.
Let's go to tight end, Jawan Johnson, 4.5 touchdowns.
I'm taking the under. I mean, it just feels like a bad start.
Yeah. I mean, he had 4. Then he had when he was playing a part-time role. Then 7 when he was just starting to come into his own. Then back down to 4. I mean, if he was healthy, I'd bet on over 4. I mean, it's so hard for your number 1 tight end not to get to 5, especially when you don't have that big red zone presence in Michael Thomas anymore. But because of the health concern, it's not a smart bet to bet over. But I mean. Is about where the line should be set if he's going to play anywhere close to 15, 16 games. But it's a tough bet with the injury.
With the foot, it's going to take a long time for his legs to get back under him and, you know, get readjusted to making full speed plays. So I'm going to take the under right here just because I don't know how that adjustment would be. So I'm going to go with the under. Next up, Dallin Holker, 12.5 catches.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I picked that number because A.T. Perry surprisingly only had 12 catches last year, even though it felt like he played a lot more. 12.5 means you're really playing on this team.
I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. It's a sneaky number. I would probably go. What Foster Moreau have last year? 21, 22? Like I would probably go.
Moreau had 21 catches last year. Jimmy Graham had 6. All season.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'd probably go
6.
He's probably going to make the team. I'll probably go. I got to go under. I got to go under here.
I'll say over just because we just talked about Jawan Johnson's injury. If he gets on the field for a couple games because other guys are hurt, He could have a few 4-catch games and get there. I mean, I don't expect him to be a top tight end, but I think he'll get enough games to where he's one of the top tight ends in that particular game. But I'm not going to go way over. I wouldn't go to 20.
No. I'm definitely going with the over, though, but not nowhere close to 20. Well, now it's time for our next segment presented by Shawbear Insurance, the Earhart Agency. Let's move on to the over and under for positions on the defense. No scheme change here, but definitely some room for improvement from last season. Cam Jordan, 5 sacks. It's tough.
What did he get to last year? He only had 2 last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna take the under, not just because I'm betting on. I think there's a little bit of bounce back to how disappointing his season was last year and the fact that an injury wiped out the second half of the season. But I just don't think he's going to be on the field on enough passing downs for this, because if Chase Young, Peyton Turner, and Isaiah Foskey are healthy / keep developing, I think they're going to be taking Cam off the field on more pass rushing downs than we've seen ever in his career.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All of it. I agree with all of it.
Under. Nope. I just don't know. I don't know how Cam. Legend.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Let's go to the next one. Brian Brzee, 5 sacks.
He almost got there last year.
I'm going to go over. Yeah, I'm going to go over. I think he's going to continue to progress. He had a couple pulled back due to penalties by other people. I think he's going to be better. He had he played with knee and shoulder issues last year. He got both those cleaned up. So I just think that a healthier, more experienced player, he should continue to progress, and that should be the bar for him.
4.5 exceeded our expectations last year because rookie defensive tackles usually don't make that jump right away their rookie year. So it's not obvious that he automatically goes higher, but I'm also going to take the over because the exact opposite of what I said for Cam Jordan. I think the playing time will be there. There aren't other three techniques breathing down his neck. Maybe Nathan Shepard could play one spot or the other, but I think Brazil will see a lot of passing down work.
I honestly don't think that he's talked about positively enough, and I don't think that he's gotten the hype that he probably deserves. Honestly, I feel like he's kind of talked about as like an afterthought a little bit, and he really shouldn't be. Like, if you have a DT who's able to get 5-6 tackles a year, like, that's a very good player, and he's already scratching that. Like, I feel like we've kind of we've probably done him a disservice even here, just not talking about him enough as a positive potential building block on the defensive line.
And that's why I'm taking the over. I think Brian is going to step up to the plate and do exactly what he needs to do to continue to grow as a defensive lineman. So, got the over on that. Next up, Chase Young, 700 snaps. Over under.
Yeah, I think he'll hit it. I mean, I think he's going to come back and play. Like, I really do. I think he's going to get it. He's been around that mark throughout his career. I think he should, if things trend the right direction. There was a positive update from his surgeon right after minicamp. So I think that he's going to have every opportunity to do it. And if he's healthy and he's playing well, I think he's going to keep pretty much everybody off the field. Like, I don't think you ever really got to take this guy off the field. So he should relegate a lot of people to the bench. He should be their best defensive end. And as their best defensive end, if he's not getting 700 snaps as a healthy player, I would be surprised by it.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under for a couple reasons. One, we already know he is hurt, and he's supposed to come back during training camp. But one IR stint wipes out 4 games, and that already, if he misses just 4 games during the season, he's already got to be playing, 55 snaps a game, almost to 50 plus snaps a game to hit this. And I think based on their personnel at defensive end, I think we're going to see a lot of rotating. I think they're going to want to keep him fresh. I think Cam Jordan will get to play a lot of first and second downs before they take him off the field. So I could see him being a guy who plays 45 to 50 snaps a game when healthy and misses a little time. So, I think, as we've said before, if he goes over 700 snaps, I feel wonderful about this team. I'm increasing my wins prediction if he goes over, but I can't bet on it.
And that's why I'm going over. Nick, on that episode we did a couple episodes back, he listed Chase Young as one of his pressure points for the team. So I feel like if he's able to get 700 snaps, he's healthy. He got things rolling.
Yeah. I don't think he's off the field on run. I think he's one of the best run defenders in the NFL. I think he puts. I think if he's healthy, like not barely healthy, getting healthy. If he's healthy enough in training camp to where he's on the field, I don't think you take him off the field. I think he's significantly better than everybody else I have. Like, if you're putting Granderson on the bench on first down, like,
Sure.
fine. If you feel like you have to have Cam out there, but I think if you put everybody in a room and he's healthy, he's playing before Cam Jordan on every snap, before Carl Granderson on every snap, before Foskey, before Peyton Turner. Now, if all these guys are great. I mean, but if he's healthy, like, he should be able to get 40 snaps a game.
I think he should lead the team in snaps.
Yeah.
I just am predicting with all the guys we're naming, I'm just predicting that to be smart, that they're just going to do a ton of rotating, like that they're not going to overextend him in his first year with the team coming off that neck surgery. But like I said, I'm just trying to make the smart bet. The number is set at a really smart number.
Let's go to the linebackers. Demario Davis, 9.5 tackles for loss. He has a streak, a 7-year streak, going 10+.
Yeah, I picked that number because his last year with the Jets and every year with the Saints, he's had at least 10 tackles for loss. So I could have just done total tackles. He's those same 7 years, he's been over 100. He's 105 was his lowest number. Could have done 17 games. He's played every single game ever since he's been a Saint. But I just, this is a unique number for him, that even when his role has changed over the years, he started, doing less in pass coverage, doing more, 6.5 sacks in each of the last 2 years. So who am I to bet against Demario Davis? If he finally misses time, the streak will end, but I can't bet against it.
Yeah, he should get it. I mean, he's been over it,
Well, there were 2 years where it was exactly 10, 2 years where it was exactly 11, 1 year where it was exactly 12. So he has to play pretty full time to get there, in theory.
I'm not betting on him to start not being. Has he ever missed a?
No.
Has he ever missed a game? Did they play 17?
No, never in his career.
It was 21 17 games?
No, okay, that's not true. COVID, did he miss one due to COVID? Yeah, that's what it was. He had never missed one when COVID made him miss his first one, and then he missed one in 2021, and I don't remember why.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make that bet against him. No way.
I'm expecting to see a lot of the DeMario thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if they get a little bit better up front, like, it should help some flow into getting some of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna bet against them.
Next up, Pete Werner, 93.5 tackles. That's saying a lot.
Well, he had 80 in like half a season 2 years ago. So he had 80 in 12 games played, but halfway it was 70 through the first 10 games or whatever before he got hurt that year. He got to 93 last year, only missed one game. So his natural progression, and that was a disappointing year for him to finish with 93 last year. So I would say yes, absolutely, if I knew he was going to keep his job, and I'm going to bet on him keeping his job. I think Willie Gay is the third guy that they get creative. If Pete Werner's healthy, I think he stays on the field this year. I'm taking the over, but I'm admitting it's not a smart bet. I'm betting on him to keep the every down job.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways out of this. He gets hurt for a couple games. He loses his job.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to predict like an injury or whatever.
No,
I think he probably hangs on to his role. Whatever the role is, like, I think he hangs on to a role ahead of Willie Gay. But I also think there's a scenario where Willie Gay gets some playing time too.
Yeah. And that's why I was taking the under,
You're
because I
taking the
think
under?
you can't have Willie on the roster and not have him on the field in some capacity. So that's going to take away tackles from somebody.
I just
think
feel
it takes
like
away from Pete.
Werner's going to be better than he was last year. So how can I predict less tackles?
Well, he
But,
could be.
yeah.
He could be better
and still get less.
Yeah, he could be better and get less, and he could play all the snaps. He could not lose a single snap to Willie Gay the whole year. But like, if Chase Young's a better run defender than whoever was out there,
the
there's less
distribution changes.
Yeah, there's less opportunity for him. So it's just kind of. It's tackles is such a weird number. Like, I think like Kaliki Hudson had like double like what anybody on the Saints did. Like, it's just tough. It's a tough number, but I'll take a slight over. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to be pessimistic on him. This is the one I feel least confident about of any of them that we've talked about, though, just because there's just so many variables.
There's so
that are
many
outside
ways
of his
he could
control.
miss.
Yeah,
There's so many ways he could miss out.
Now we're going to move on to our next segment. Some people might be like, wait, you didn't talk about the backfield. We're going to get to that, talking about the cornerbacks and the safeties. But it's now time for our next segment presented by Hard High Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. Let's do a few head-to-head over-unders. Trevor Penning or Nick Saldiveri, who's more likely to start 10.5 games?
Nick Saldiveri. I'm going Nick Saldiveri. I got to go Nick Saldiveri. I feel more certain about Nick Saldiveri right now than I do Trevor Penning.
Health included.
I mean,
They both have an injury history. I wrote this one, and I never thought of my answer. I'm going to bet on Penning because I think they care so much about that investment, and I just think there's too many other guys that they could plug in for Saldiveri. If he doesn't work right away, they could say, "Hey, we're going to keep developing you. We've got Lucas Patrick here, who's started 50 games in his career, or Oli Udoh or whatever." So I'm going to take Penning because I think Penning gets like some more chances. But would you take the over on both? 10.5?
yeah, I would take the over on both.
I wouldn't bet real money on.
I'd take the over on
either
both.
one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of what you said. The investment thing's interesting to me because I kind of get the feeling that they really want it to work with Penning, but they've already shown us they don't give a damn about the investment. So I don't know, but I agree with, like, that's the vibe. That's the vibe, right? Yeah. Like, it kind of feels like they want to make it work.
Well, I guess I'd put it this way. I know they think they have a special, like, rare, unique talent in Trevor Penning. Like, it might never work, but they know, like, God, if we could make this work, look at his size and his speed. I don't know for a fact that they think Nick Saldiveri is more than a replacement level type of player.
But I think the floor on Saldiveri is replacement level, and all they have is replacement level players. Mm-hmm. And I think the floor on Penning is unplayable.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm betting on floor here.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't.
But you're betting the over on both?
I don't feel good about either one though. Like,
I think if you told me I have to bet $20 on each one, I'd bet on both unders because I will be very surprised if they both hit the over.
I'm much less pessimistic about Saldiveri, I think, than you are.
I'll have to choose Saldiveri to start over, the 10.5 games over Penning, just because I haven't seen enough to be disappointed.
That's it.
I know you didn't want to say it, but I haven't seen enough to be disappointed.
We haven't seen the floor.
I can't get over it. This is so unfair to him, but I've said this a few times. Last year we saw Isaiah Foskey struggle, and we knew he was struggling, and we're like, man, that guy struggled Well, I know, but we were like, that guy struggled so much he can't get on the field. Yeah. Well, Nick Saldiveri couldn't get on the field either, and they were cycling in Max Garcia, sign Cam Irving, move James Hurst over, and they never gave Saldiveri a chance. So he must have been really struggling for them never to be like, at least give him a chance. They never gave him a chance.
There's some injuries and stuff though too.
Yeah. But that's just stuck in the back of my head.
Kind of like you alluded to just now, Peyton Turner and Isaiah Foskey, who's more likely to surpass 3.5 sacks.
I'm gonna take Turner because the thing that concerns me with Turner is injury history. But shoot, I think he gets 4 sacks in 2 games. Like if he has 2 good games, we've seen that from him before. Right. And I think Turner gets on the field more if healthy. But Foskey's the ascending one. Foskey's the guy I'm sure is going to make the roster, and I'm not even sure of that with Turner. So it's a tough one. But I'm still going to bet on Turner.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Foskey just flashed a little more in these practices.
Sure, that's totally fair.
So, but like, what does it mean? Like, he's fast and they aren't really blocking, so he should.
Right.
I think I believe in Peyton Turner's talent, but I believe in Foskey's too, man. This dude had real production at Notre Dame.
The all-time sack leader at Notre Dame.
The fact that like it was a weird transition, like kind of blows my mind a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna just go to the underbelly thing, man. I've seen more Peyton Turner underbelly than Foskey underbelly, so I'm gonna pick Foskey to win this just because I haven't had quite the reason to be disappointed. And it has really nothing to do with talent. Like, Turner's just really had a hard time being on the field. So,
it's fair.
Look, I have all the respect in the world for his game, his talent, but, like, just, I don't know. Let's see it.
Are you betting over or under on both? Like, what would you put in 2 under bets or 2 over bets if they're basically
I don't like the over on either.
Yeah, fair. That means I wrote a good question.
Turner.
All right.
Turner.
All right.
Turner. Yeah. Just because when he gets in, when he's healthy, Like, dude had a fumble recovery.
Yeah,
And
no,
then-
he's a good
Yeah.
player, man.
It's just he has to get there. He has to find his way to the field. So I'm going to roll with Turner on that. Next up, Jamal Williams and Kendrick Miller, 400 rushing yards.
Boy, I don't
mm.
like this one. I don't want to pick either one, man. Why is one dude smiling, one dude's frowning here on this picture?
That's a smile.
Does that mean we've already made our choice?
I think Jamal's smiling, right? Jamal looks happy and like
I
Kendrick
mean,
looks.
come on, man. When is he like? He's probably thinking about like a Pokemon or something. bro.
I'll step in. I know we're a little pessimistic on Kendre, but I'm just going to bet on the situation here. Like if Alvin missed time early in the season, like he did last year with the suspension, I think Jamal's the guy getting the 20 touches a game and Kendre's playing the role. But I think over time they're going to keep working Kendre and they're going to keep working. If Alvin's healthy, I think Jamal's the one who loses out. I think Kendre continues to get his opportunities. He's just the guy that I feel better over the course of the year, getting better as the year goes on, getting there. But because of age and running back and injuries, I think they could both get to 400. I think it could just be a sloppy like Alvin 800, Kendre 400, Jamal 400 kind of season.
Could Kendre or Jamal, which one of these dudes can average 25 yards a game? Like that's really all it is, right? Like,
or I think Kendre can do it in smaller doses. I think Kendre can get 6 touches in a game and have an 80 here and there just because he broke one.
who was
I think Jamal needs volume.
Oh man, who was the running back that punched the intern?
Kyrie Robinson.
Yeah, like Kyrie. Let's like Kendrick could have a Kyrie Robinson type season.
Yeah. Where it just happens quick. Like
where there's just a couple good
flash
games. Yeah, everybody's like, yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah,
I mean, Kendre beat him out last year, didn't he? Who do you think had more last year? I have it right in front of me.
More yards?
Yeah.
Kendrick probably did.
Kendre had 156. Jamal had 306. I was wrong. It felt like Kendre had more.
Jamal had
but
2 touchdowns.
Jamal had more than twice as many touches too.
Jamal had 300 yards last year.
Yeah. Well, remember Alvin missed those games early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Jamal missed some of those too when he got hurt. But
Damn.
anyway.
So Jamal, you saying that makes me feel like I feel like Jamal's gonna have a better role in this offense than he did last year, and I think he fits it a little bit better. I feel better about Jamal after hearing 306 last year. It was
106 for 306, 2.9 yard average. Kendre was 4.1 for 156, 3.8 yard average.
And the last time we talked to him, Kendre was like, he feels good. He feels better going into it. I know what we saw back in OTAs and in minicamp. It seemed like Jamal had the edge, but I think Kendre is going to find out during the season whether he wants to or not. You're going to get the ball and you got to make something happen. So I'm going with Kendre.
Okay.
I think they're going to make him have 400 yards, even if he doesn't want it.
I would place a small bet on the over on both of these.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's a smart bet when it comes to running backs.
Yeah.
If Alvin misses any time at all, they have to get there.
And to finish out this section, Tyrann Mathieu, Paulson Adebo, or Marshawn Lattimore, who is more likely to top 3.5 interceptions?
I mean, the easy bet here for me is Tyrann. I'm predicting 17 games played, 17 starts. I think Marshawn's going to play the full season, but if he plays the full season, then him and Paulson might be splitting up the workload there. They could all get there, but Tyrann's done it the most. Even when Marshawn's been having all-pro caliber seasons, he doesn't always get this many interceptions because the way they play man-to-man, he doesn't sit back there and cherry pick. So Tyrann's my easy bet here.
Yeah, I got Tyrann.
I got Tyrann too, but Paulson is the type of player where like
He had 4 last year.
it could be it could be like 75 degrees and like the humidity could be at a certain point and he just goes off and has like a crazy game. So I'm gonna go with Tyrann, but I think it's definitely possible that Paulson does it too. Well, we're gonna hit a quick break. When we come back, we'll hit some more over-unders and get into the Martin's question of the day. Keep it locked to NewOrleans.Football.
Total Maintenance is one of the largest locally owned home and commercial service providers in South Louisiana. They were founded in 1980 and serve the greater New Orleans and Baton Rouge markets. And Total Maintenance wants to show some love to our NOF listeners. They have a membership program that gets you 2 tune-up visits for AC and heating, as well as club membership discounts of 15% on all repairs, half off of all diagnostic charges, and 3-year warranties on most repairs for membership clients. This is usually priced at the low price of $24.95 a month per system, but if you tell Total Maintenance that you found them through NOF, they'll lower the price to $20.95 per month per system for as long as you keep the membership active. It will never increase. Total Maintenance has a tune-up special running this summer for $79, down from the normal price of $179. This is a one-time offer for one system only. They also offer a free diagnostic on second opinions on units deemed to be unrepairable, and they offer free estimates for replacements as well as commercial maintenance programs. Services include AC and heating service and replacement, electrical service, plumbing service, as well as generator service and installation. They are Total Maintenance. Find them at tm-ac.com or give them a call at 504-841-3300, or if you're in the Baton Rouge area, 225-480-1000.
Are you tired of renting and ready to own your dream home? Contact Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union, your trusted source for home loans. Our competitive rates and flexible terms can help make your home ownership dreams a reality. If you're a first-time home buyer or looking to refinance, our experienced lenders are here to help. Our online application process allows you to apply on your schedule. It's quick, easy, and convenient. Visit us online at jeffersonfinancial.org to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Martin Wine and Spirits is home to a selection of hand-picked barrel select bourbon, whiskeys, and much, much more. They are family owned and operated since 1946 and specialize in wine, spirits, gourmet food, gift baskets, catering, and tasting events. They have many locations, so they're never too far away. You can check them out in Metairie, New Orleans, Mandeville, and Baton Rouge, or if it's more convenient, you can always shop online. Whether you're a wine novice or a seasoned collector, you'll enjoy the Martin Wine and Spirit experience.
Welcome back to our studio on Veterans Memorial Boulevard. It is now time for our money segment presented by Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union. Let's finish off with some big team over-unders. The rushing offense as a whole, are they going to average 4.5 yards per carry? Over or under?
I'm going to take the over on it. I'll take the over on it. Yeah, I mean, I think Alvin will be a little bit better. I think Taysom
4.0 yards per carry.
4.0.
Yeah, I think Taysom will keep that number up. They should do the bulk of the heavy lifting. So I'll do a slight over on that yards per carry. I think they should be creative enough to warrant that.
They do it almost every year. They, even in some bad years, where were they? They were, why am I having trouble finding the Saints? This was a bad year. 3.9 in 2021. 2022, they vaulted it up to 4.3. Last year, the yuck year, 3.6. Oh,
yuck indeed.
I'm still taking the over, though. This is where I think they're going to make their greatest improvement this year. And man, they better. I mean, the best teams in the league get to 5. They just need to get to 4, man.
Yeah, I think they'll do it. I think with Kubiak in there, they'll definitely make it happen. Next up, scoring defense. Will it rank better or worse than 8.5 in the NFL?
This is right where they've been the last 2 years. Last year, they were 8th. Year before that, they were 9th, I think. And then, obviously, years before that, they were better and better. So they've been hovering. Yeah, they were 9th in 2022, 8th last year. We've starting to see some cracks. They're getting a little older. I didn't like those slow starts we saw the second half of last season. I think the schedule gets tougher, but I think they can hang on and still be right in that range.
Yeah, I guess the real question here is over under 20 points per game. Like if you're under 20, like you're in that 8-9. You're under, you're in the top 10, and that's really kind of the question here. If they run the ball better, they rush the passer a little bit better, it should mitigate some of the stuff we saw last year. I think they will do both those things. It's going to be tough. I mean, they got here kind of playing no real quarterbacks last year. This is a tough one. This is tough. It's tough.
I still think this defense is equipped to do what they've done so good in the Dennis Allen era, which is not give up the big explosives, not just like let a team have the free drive. They always make a team work for it. Then they have a good red zone defense. Then they have a good third down defense. And I still think that's true. I don't like that we don't have a ton of faith in their safeties. It's not like they have Marcus Williams as the eraser back there. Thanks. But I love their cornerback depth, and the pass rush has to be better, right? Like, so I feel
I'll ride with you on it. I'm getting in I'm getting in the vehicle, but
okay. You buckling up?
We need airbags though. Like, I'm not positive on it, but as long as you have like a good safety mechanism in the vehicle, I'll take the risk.
I mean, this is their defensive arrow the last couple of years. It's like slightly downward the last couple of years. And they're not getting younger.
Chase Young?
Maybe Kool-Aid. Chase Young?
Yeah, Chase Young and kind of whoever takes over that nickel spot. solidifying that they're having the nickel spot. I think that I'm in the car. No question. I'm in the car. Sticking with the defense, 41.5 sacks.
Yeah, I mean, here's another one where this number used to be easy for the Saints until last year when they had, how bad was it last year? I had this in front of me a second ago. 34. They used to get here, no problem. They had, what they have the year before that, 48. So the last 2 years, they went from 48 to 34.
Yeah, I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over because they figured out how to manufacture it better. They were playing a style of defense that was just really based on coverage and dropping 7 and, you know, kind of trying to figure it out up front and hoping that you win some one-on-ones. And then when they started bringing the heat again, they started getting some sacks. So I think that if they aren't getting it from their front, they'll tap back into that a little bit quicker. I mean, DA has even talked about how they had to kind of like find their way last year on defense. And I think they did later in the season, but I think that I don't think that they'll have to go through that kind of like what's the identity process again.
And not only did I like that Chase Young and Willie Gay were their 2 biggest free agent signings, you know, adding those 2 players to the front 7, but it also signaled where they are right now, which is that they know, that they know they have to get faster and more dynamic in the front 7.
I'm going with the over. I think they'll definitely go over. I think they'll definitely hit the over on that. Now, let's get into this one. Very interesting. 1.5 Pro Bowlers. Initial selections, not like alternates like, oh, we got to add this person. Like straight up, day comes out, you're a Pro Bowler.
Here's the real question. Are they going to win 10 games? Because if they win
That's
10,
the next question.
If they win 10 games, they get 2, 3, 4 Pro Bowlers. Like DeMario gets in, Tyron gets in. If they're winning 10 games, that means Marshawn and Alvin probably had good seasons. They got chances to get in. Chris Olave has a chance of getting in. Like if you win 10 games and your team has, if you win 10 games and you have 1,200 yards, like you're getting into the Pro Bowl probably. Like you have a decent chance of getting there as a young star on a good, exciting team. Like you're probably going to get in there. So if you're over, like if you hit the 10, like some combination of 2 of those 5 players are definitely getting in. I'm going to take the under.
Oh man, I'm going to take the over though because we set it at 1.5. I would have taken the under if we set it at 2.5. I think Rashid Shaheed and JT Gray getting the respect they've gotten in years past almost gives you that little bonus cheat code, like maybe one special teamer help you get over the top. We got a picture of Demario Davis on the screen. But no, I mean, I do worry about the guys who are the tiebreakers. Like, I don't think Chris Olave breaks through if the Saints are an afterthought kind of team.
Like if they win 10 and Tyron gets the 4 picks that he had last year, he's
Tyron,
a
Alvin. Alvin's the kind of guy who can get in. Eric McCoy's the kind of guy who can get in. They're going to have a lot of first and second alternates. But I'll take the over on 1.5. I think they can get one special teamer and one DeMario type. Maybe sneaking in Alvin or an Olave with a special season. But I wouldn't have taken the over on 2.5.
Oh, nah, I'm under.
You don't want to push on 1.5?
You'll have them just play like the little skills challenge, but not the game. No, I'm going to take the under. I don't know.
Marshawn's back.
Yeah, but if
he's healthy, he goes every year.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see who that guy is. But let's finish it up. Kind of like you alluded to, wins 8.5.
I'm over. I got 9. I've been firm on 9. I'm not wavering. I'm firm on 9. And yeah, I mean, if this was set at 9, I'm a more optimistic 9 than a pessimistic 9.
I've been set on 8 all along. When the schedule came out, it firmed up my 8 even more. Nothing in camp. I liked the things I already liked, and I'm still concerned by the things I'm still concerned by. I'm still an 8-9 guy, so I'm going to take the under.
Like I said on the previous episode, that new offense, I'm biting on it. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to go take it over. Well, now it's time for our Martin Wine and Spirits question of the day. Martin's is home to a wide selection of hand-picked barrel select bourbon, whiskeys, and more. Martin's, so much more than just wine. Today's question is, if most plays are designed to look alike, how important is the third down wide receiver?
The third wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think where's the detailed question, but they they're saying, are they just not going to be on the field as much if they're going to keep that same personnel? I mean, I don't think it's going to be quite Sean McVay-like where he really just kept the exact same players on the field all the time. But we talked about this earlier in when we were talking about how many snaps A.T. Perry's going to get is are they going to rotate as many bodies in and out as they have over the years? I still think it's important. I still think they need to get a blocker on the field. I still think they've got huge questions at tight end. So I think a third receiver needs to emerge. But as I said, I think Olave and Shaheed are going to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to do heavy lifting, and I think it's a vital position. I think you got to have a viable third receiving option in this offense. I think if you start pushing everybody up in the roles that they shouldn't be in, I think you weaken a little bit. There's going to be times where Olave and Shaheed are defended well, and you got to throw somewhere else with the ball. Like it's a vital position. And like I said before, I think it's one of those spots that's low key one of the more important issues on the team right now. And there's a reason we sat here all offseason and talked about the need for another receiver, a possession type, a Mike Thomas replacement. They didn't do that. So they talked about it, about that being a big need, and it just never really got addressed. So I think it's vital. Somebody has to step up. Like, it doesn't have to be, they aren't going to be, the defining characteristic of the season, but I think it's one of those, it's one of those things that are important. Like, if you got like lead in your walls, like, you have problems. Like, so it can be an unseen thing that kind of brings you down a little bit. And, this needs to be something that's just kind of solid in whatever it is.
I think the question, I think they brought up Taysom in the question. I don't know why I don't have it in front of me, but I think the idea was, is this offense designed to, like we said, have a lot of 12 personnel on the field? Like, is it going to be Juwan and Foster, or is it going to be Taysom? Like, is the third receiver just not going to play as many snaps as two tight ends or a fullback, or will somebody else play that more snaps? And I just don't see the depth at those other positions being what bumps a receiver off the field.
Here's something interesting. 12 personnel last year. Rams at the bottom, 59, obviously. Panthers, 31st, 107. 30th, Dolphins, 115. Texans, 29th, 123 snaps. 49ers, 145. Bengals from the same tree, 165 snaps. Then we go to the other end of it, and you got the Saints, 7th in the league, 297. I mean, so it really realistically might be less.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of NewOrleans.Football. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're subscribed, thanks again. If you're not, what are you doing? Subscribe to NewOrleans.Football /subscribe. Catch you next time.